का अनुभव बड़ा निराला है। तुम्हारे साथ का अनुभव बड़ा निराला है। मिले न स्वर्ग में वो सुख लुटाने वाला है। तुम्हारे साथ का अनुभव बड़ा निराला है।
But the other side is, we are an army. And an army means who fights. The fighting is on a very subtle level. Even in the world, the weapons are refined more and more on subtle level. More deception, more ways of attacking in such a way they can deceive the enemy. Similarly, Baba's children, on the basis of deep faith and on the basis of unquestionable love from both sides, from your side and from Baba's side, being so close, being guided by the Supreme Himself, the courage and the confidence which we develop by and by, it doesn't come all of a sudden. We start on the path and it's always there. In the beginning, it seems very easy, very light. It's after a while, sometimes after 6 months, sometimes after a year, sometimes after 2 years, sometimes even after 5 years. What happens? The effort making in the right way becomes clouded sometimes. Sometimes we become overconfident.
बन के इस चमन की तुम बाहर हो, मत बन के इस चमन की तुम बाहर हो।
Om Shanti. Experience the stage of being ignorant of the knowledge of desires and give others this experience. Renounce desire for regard or respect. Having many types of desires creates obstacles in being able to face anything. For as long as you have the desire to glorify your own name or feel that you are such and such, and ask why no one sought your advice, or why your opinion isn't valued. There will be obstacles in service. Therefore, renounce any desire for regard or respect and stabilize yourself in your self-respect. And that respect will follow you like a shadow. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Vikti Parivar. Today's day 22. Experience the stage of being ignorant of the knowledge of desires and give others this experience. Today's topic: renounce desire for regard or respect. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Everyone is happy, clear. When there is any topic, there are many, many aspects to that topic. And before implementing or becoming that, a proper understanding and churning is required. And then also clarity comes by taking every step forward. By being that, by doing that, there is experience, there is realization, there is understanding, right? So we have to maintain pure feelings. We have to maintain good wishes. We have to maintain pure wishes, right? Like when Baba gave us different plans for service. Children go on the mountains, hilltops, where people go in summer holiday, it's hot. They all go on the top of mountains to stay few weeks. Go and do service there. You know, when Baba keeps giving us like, do this, and many opportunities came, like we had this Ganesh Chaturthi, lot of programs all over. So there has to be the thought and feeling we want to go and serve. So sometimes that shouldn't reduce. So whatever we have pure feelings, suddenly a thought comes, there is always importance, there is significance. So you're not suppressing yourself. I remember that once I had to get a visa. They didn't give, they say you have to appear personally. So when I went, that ambassador there, some or other, it was Raksha Bandhan day, and I was carrying some Rakhi. Then he said, oh, I was thinking, I wish I had my sister there who could tie Rakhi. So what I notice, any thought you get, you go there and you see that was the time they need you. You know, so one side you find, oh, it's so difficult now. How can I go? So going anywhere, doing anything is the need of the souls. No? I think that is like a calling. So, but if I hear that calling and I say, no, I shouldn't have desire, it's not right, right? So be clear about what is desire and what is like one of the thing Baba saying, that renounce the desire for regard or respect. And in the beginning, it really bothers, right? You go in the hall, there is no seat for you, like all that. I had to sit on floor, or I got chair, or I got sofa. All this happens. And then we gradually get into our self-respect and everything happens accordingly. So Baba is saying, having many types of desires creates obstacles in being able to free from everything, able to face everything. For as long as you have the desire to glorify your own name or feel that you are such and such, and ask why no one sought your advice or why your opinion isn't valued. Baba says, then there will be obstacles in service. It's very subtle. So now we know what are the obstacles, right? So therefore renounce any desire for regard or respect and stabilize yourself in your self-respect. And that respect will follow you like a shadow. Quite deep, right? As Sister Shireen was saying, that getting complicated. I think it's not getting complicated, but it's like it's opening to us into clear understanding of our thoughts. Daddy Janki always used to tell us, whenever I get a pure thought, I take that thought to Baba. I give it to Baba. And when I give it to Baba, I know that Baba will now make it happen, or it won't happen, then it's all right. Like talking to someone, but she said, I just go and on my palm, say, Baba, this is what my desire is or my thought is. And then my mind is free because I trust God, Baba, that He will direct me, He will give power. He's the one who can change also situation, right? Because each one of us, we are at Baba's service. I remember just imagine when I came to New York, such a big city, we didn't know. We knew few people. I had never done banking. I had never got in the train. I had never got so many, but I had to do everything. Get in the train, go to the bank, do grocery shopping. We used to get so many guests in New York. We always bought 50 pounds of oil, 50 pounds of flour, always, because so much come, and then people and vogue. And so it's very, very interesting when we look at the life, what we are today and what we are made like this is all what we had to do, we had to be, right? So always have this trust, have self-respect, and don't just look for external support. It is important to have support, and you will get it, right? Okay. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Good evening. Mohini Didi, Avyakti Parivar, everyone. Such an interesting time that we are going through. I'm sure within the last 2 or 3 days, all of us have gone through not just exposure to information and news about our dear brother Neverji, but I think many kinds of different feelings also must be coming up. Lots of memories, lots of visions, very vivid, right? Especially for those who would have spent a little time with him from time to time. And I think it is natural that in a time like this, not only you remember the times, the words, the classes, but also the personality as a whole, right? That how that soul reflected such and such a personality. And I think for me, I've been thinking a lot about, of course, how much he was loving, right? Today's Murli seemed to be such an accurate Murli to speak about the quality of being loving, just like Brahma Baba. Very, very big heart and always available. But also I was thinking of Nirvai's sense and personality of royalty. You know, such a beautiful personality. And when you think of royalty, I think you kind of think of someone who commands, right? Like a commander. Of course, he was in the Navy, and you can imagine that kind of personality, if he had continued in the Navy, but he said today that you're an army. So many times we think about this, especially on this topic of desire, whenever we need or we are thinking that it should have happened another way, or, someone should treat me in this way. Baba always talks about it as royal begging, right? But I was particularly thinking of his personality in terms of how he commanded respect and regard. And this is what Baba is teaching us, I think, not to ask or not to demand, but to really command, to know that you are entitled to something, to have faith in that, to hold on to that thought. And then, of course, it manifests, whether it is something physical or something that is very subtle. I remember when many, many big projects were happening. And of course, Nirvibai was the first to kind of get it all started, right? Even Gyan Sarovar hospitals. But there was never a thought of whether we should, whether we shouldn't. But as if he was very firm in that thought that, yes, we are entitled to this. Baba is entitled to this, and so we go for it. That kind of a feeling. And in a way, I think it also connects with self-pride, no? The more we have self-respect, Baba calls it self-respect, but this pure pride that comes with self-respect of who I am, who we are, how much, we are entitled to. In other words, Baba always says, claim your rights from me. Yes, of course, we claim your rights from Baba, but we also have certain rights over nature, for example. Was particularly looking at Nirvai's relationship with nature. He had such a beautiful, loving relationship with nature. Whether it was the birds, whether it was the squirrels, whether it was the trees in his backyard, I always felt that they were so happy being in his company. And it was like commanding that kind of love and respect, even from nature. Not that anything should happen like this, not just that thought. So such a beautiful reflection or expression of how Baba wants us to be. What does he mean when he says self-sovereign, or what does he mean when he says, you're the world masters, for example. So I was thinking of all of that as a very nice image to have in front of us, especially as we are working on ourselves with this aspect of desire for regard and respect. Very subtle, isn't it? Two or three of us come together and we do something. And say, for example, of course, everything goes well. And the two others, get mentioned and I don't get mentioned. How would I feel? How do I feel? I feel a little bit, not that you would say anything or it would come out in a very external way, but even one little thought, that arises. But when there is the pure pride that, yes, at least, I had the fortune of working with them, or I have the fortune of working on this Baba's task, or Baba has placed me in such and such a place. So when there is already that foundation of pure pride, I think there's no empty space, for us to feel that anything is lacking or anything was missing. And so this is the beauty of how Baba is helping us to build that awareness, the foundation awareness, that it is so full and so, filled with fortune and pride and intoxication and all the elements that Baba talks about. The respect of just belonging to God in such a beautiful way, belonging to his family, belonging to this yagya. And in whatever little way I get chance to do whatever, that is also self-pride. So as soon as, that pride is missing, pure pride is missing, then of course the I and you and mine and yours comes into the picture. And that's when we feel either left out or we get this empty spot, empty space of desire. And so the more we listen to Baba and the more day by day we are getting to reflect, what it really means. The other day when Baba said not even to ask for justice, so often we get caught into this desire for, now things should be done in a just way. This is not fair, we said, it's just not fair. Yes, it may not be fair, but as Baba's children, we also know that there are many factors at work. It's not just about, going according to the books and say, this is the right, this is the wrong. But say, for example, if I, want something to be done in a particular way, but I'm not saying it in the right way also. But I'm just demanding or I'm very arrogant about it. Baba always says, no, this trying to prove something, trying to be stubborn about something, that also is not right. It's not the way that somebody would work for truth, to achieve truth, to achieve justice. So in this way, I think, the means through which we try to get something is also equally important. There may be a lot of meaning and significance in how we feel and what we want, but I think in terms of how we go about it, I think it has to be more a sense of this self-entitlement, more from Baba than from anyone else. And the more I feel that right over Baba and I feel that pure pride of what Baba is giving me, I think the less I will depend on others, the less I will be feeling empty, and the less also I will be desirous of anything in particular. So quite a deep journey, no? I think we are all embarking on step by step, layer by layer, trying to find out why this thought is coming, why this feeling of emptiness is coming, why this frustration is coming up, to really be honest with our thoughts and feelings, and then go back to Baba and fill whatever is missing. I think this is what our whole journey is about. And as I was mentioning Nirvaibai's personality, he just was, everything about him was like so full, right? His face was so full, and his heart was so full, and his, there was such a sense of royalty when you entered his room. And so I was thinking, where does that come from? It really comes from filling up with that connection. And of course, I think we're all going to feel him more and more in our centers also. He always used to say that in the morning hours, Amrit Vela time, after Amrit Vela, he visits all the centers. It goes on a world tour of all the Baba's centers. So I was feeling a very strong presence of Nirvabai this morning too, and perhaps he will be more and more in a subtle form also. His presence will be felt, and we will be able to, feel that help and support in a subtle way also, right? But all of that comes from that place of fullness, I feel. So let us all, of course, work on ourselves, but also take from the examples that Baba has in front of us, Brahma Baba himself, but we also have many, many more examples of how they developed their personality, being in Baba's remembrance, following Baba accurately, being a right instrument in Baba's task, all of that. Yes. So mixed feelings, but also let us take a lot in a subtle way from Baba's presence and also from this presence of our ancestor souls. I think Baba is pointing finger more and more towards ancestor souls, how we have to work together, right, in this task of establishment. So we will see more of these wonderful scenes of drama, I'm sure. Om Shanti. Om Shanti to all.
Om Shanti Avikti Parivar. Thank you for the sharing. And tomorrow is Monday, and we will have our schedule from Amrit Vela 3:30 a.m. to 4:45 a.m. in the evening, 5 to 5:15 p.m. Avikti Children Malay class 6 o'clock, but you will start, followed by Hindi series, English series, and Avikti journey. Now let's remember Baba and take drishti from Didi.
मीठे बाबा प्यारे
है मेरे दिल को आभास। तू ही तो है मेरे आस पास, होता है मेरे दिल को आभास। बजता मन में यही एक सांस, बाबा तुम हो मेरे पास। बाबा मीठे बाबा, प्यारे बाबा, मेरे बाबा।
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
तेरे संग का हुआ ये असर, तेरे संग का हुआ ये असर। आसान हुआ है जीवन का सफर, मुझसा कोई खुश किस्मत कहा। भगवन हुआ है मेरा हम सफर, सफल हो रहा है मेरा हर प्रयास। तेरी रहमतों का है मुझ पे प्रकाश। बजता मन में यही एक सांस, बाबा तुम हो मेरे पास। बाबा मीठे बाबा, प्यारे बाबा, मेरे बाबा। करन करावन हार हो तुम, करते हो मेरे सारे काम। करके स्वयं छिप जाते हो और मशहूर होता है मेरा नाम। आभार करती मेरी हर सांस, मेरे हृदय में है तेरा निवास। तू ही तो है मेरे आस पास, होता है मेरे दिल को आभास। बाबा मीठे बाबा, प्यारे बाबा, मेरे बाबा। बाबा मीठे बाबा, प्यारे बाबा, मेरे बाबा।
Om Shanti Kalam
Shanti.
Shanti.
Thank you,
Thank you
Baba.
Didi.
Thank you,
Shanti Mohini Didi. Om Shanti
Didi.
Devan ke parivar.